Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. So, I have a couple of clients who are hiring employees right now. And one of the things they've asked me now, again, I'm not in fractional HR, but they have asked me a lot of questions around benefits. Number one, what types of benefits they can afford, what they can afford to offer, what types of costs come up. So, without telling you what to do, because this is very unique to you and what you can sort of figure out to do, I want to walk you through and pull from my experience and saying, when I decided to hire employees into my business, I realized I need to be competitive and offer some type of benefit, but I wasn't sure what to offer. And I'm going to go through a few of the benefits that we offer that are admittedly very creative, but I'm going to go through why I did them. And I think that you could find your own version of what I'm talking about, but also please borrow from these ideas if you think they're really good, because I'm super excited about some of our benefit programs and really proud to have a company that has these. So now let me just get started with like the health insurance 401k thing. So when it comes to health insurance and 401k, there are so many different options out there, so much education out there. I may even do an entire episode just on those. What I'm going to focus on is some non traditional benefits that might actually make you competitive in the marketplace. So let's talk about the first thing that I really like to think about is there are a couple of things. One is when it comes to employees, and what I want them to do. When you think about what's the type of employee or the condition of an employee that I wanna have someone who is healthy, who is confident, who is, assertive. I wanna have somebody who is satisfied, fulfilled, happy. Happy employees and happy work make for happy customers and ideally less crises, right? So I said, how can I make my employees feel cared for? How can I support them in their journey when it comes to overall wellness or when it comes to what they're pursuing in their lives? So here's what I came up with. We have a few different values here at Keep What You Earn, and I'll go through how they kind of tie in. But one of them is that what we call rapid responsiveness without the cost of burnout. So we try to rapidly respond to the needs of our clients and our stakeholders here without crossing into the territory of burnout. In order to accomplish that, we do encourage people to have lives outside of work, but one thing that you can offer is gym membership or wellness. Even I believe you can offer things like a BetterHelp subscription or a reimbursement. I actually personally love the reimbursement approach because then you're not kind of prescribing the solutions to people. You're just telling them, "Hey, we have an up to X dollars per month or X dollars per year reimbursement for programs." Personally, we use one called the personal development reimbursement. So we actually have up to a certain amount of money that we allow every employee to use if they would like to attend a personal development event or get some type of life coaching or get some type of help or support when it comes to personal development. I'll give you some examples. So if you go to like a Brennan Burchard event, if you go to a women's business event, if you go just to not just to represent the business, because that's a straight business expense and that's not their personal stuff, but I'm talking about if they do something purely for themselves and they wanna go do that to better themselves, develop leadership skills, develop, just become like a better mother, a time management thing. Some of these things that really do benefit the business, I will just straight up reimburse them for and not count towards this, but there are some where it is a personal type of training, a personal type of event, and they're just going to let their hair down, meet other women, or meet other real estate investors or something that they're a part of that has nothing to do with the business. And I say, I want you to get out there. It is a benefit to me as the owner of the company that you have an extensive network of people, that you get out there, that you put yourself out there, that you get used to networking with people, that you also find commonalities with other people, and, that you're also developing yourself personally, that you're becoming more self-aware as a result and sharing what you're learning. So I'm more than happy to reimburse a lot of those types of trainings. So that's something that they self-select them. So if you said, I really want to go to this Tony Robbins event, I would say, okay, cool. I'll reimburse you up to X dollars of it because you're going to be better for it. And therefore we're going to be better for it. So I'm willing to invest in that. So that's kind of a cool thing if you know that your values align with that and that your people will appreciate that. You also have to keep in mind that these benefits need to be marketable to the type of employee that you are trying to recruit. So if you're trying to recruit people and they don't really care about that stuff or they don't plan on going to any of those events, then they're going to brush this off and be like, that's meaningless. So just know your audience here. The other thing that we do is I'm going to go back to values. So, one of our values is being a lifelong learner, meaning you never stop learning. You are always absorbing new information. You also don't act like you know everything. And, even if you have your CPA or if you have CFA or like any type of, as I put it, alphabet soup at the end of your name on LinkedIn, if you have any of those certifications and stuff, I'm like, yeah, but you're always learning and you could be wrong. And not always right. You don't know everything, that type of thing. And one of the ways we demonstrate lifelong learning is every team meeting we have monthly, we have a share of like a book someone's read or a podcast someone listened to or a YouTube video someone saw. And we try to share those things with each other and say, I really found this inspirational and really helpful. And here's what I learned from it. The other thing is, we also have this thing called book club. And, you know, as your team gets bigger, this can definitely help you. Our team is very small and intimate, and so it's a little bit different here, but what we do is we actually have in our Slack channel, we have this thing called book club, and all of the team members are welcome to browse this list of books that I personally curated along with my team. Like we're adding new books to the list. And the cool thing is that when it's an approved Keep What You Earn book club book, you can then go buy the book at Amazon or any of these places, or even the audiobook, and then you can submit for reimbursement. So if it's an approved book, you can submit for reimbursement. It's not that hard to become an approved book, but you can say, "Hey, I wanna read Atomic Habits," which is one of them. Then you can click on that link and say, "I'm gonna go buy that book, and then I will reimburse you for that book and let you read it." But then you can come into the Slack channel anytime, and you can talk about, "Hey, here's what I'm learning," or, "Here's an interesting part that I just heard or just read," and we can start a conversation on it, because that is how we all demonstrate lifelong learner. So, how can you take the core values that you've extracted for your business and say, how can I make it unreasonably easy for people to demonstrate these values while working here? How can I create incentives? And how can I essentially grease the floor sliding toward people doing more of this, like more of these values, more of demonstrating these values? And here's a couple more. We do have a charitable donation reimbursement because we do believe in charity. My my preference is that we work with our philanthropy, which is Junior Achievement, which is helping deliver entrepreneurship and financial literacy education to kids from elementary to high school all over the world. I've worked with Junior Achievement for years. I love them. I used to take their programs when I was younger, and I can't say enough good things about them. So, that being said, we talk about charity a lot. I Keep What You Earn. A portion of all of our CFO revenue goes to Junior Achievement, but also we encourage our team to volunteer and to donate. So with that, I offer a reimbursement and a matching, excuse me, not a reimbursement, a matching for the charity up to a certain amount of money. And that helps to further the mission and further the goals. But I also welcome people to bring their own charities to the table, and we do a matching as well. So as long as it's a 401(c)(3), we're basically going to help match you unless there's some type of, depending on where the money's going, right? Unless there's some like blatant ethical issue with donating to them, which I doubt, we will reimburse them or we will match them. So that's one thing you can do too.
Hey there, are you on LinkedIn? I love connecting with listeners and other professionals and business owners on that platform. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. So if we're not already connected, make sure you send me a connection request after this episode.
The last thing I'm going to tell you about is that we just instituted this thing called the Just Because budget. And a few members on our team have this sort of, what do you call this in Disney? It's like pixie dust, they call it in Disney, or like surprise and delight, I think was one of them. So, what we do is we give our team members, certain team members, a budget monthly. And admittedly, this is not really a benefit, but it is kind of a cool aspect of the job that I think you could instill just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, appealing, marketable as a position. I give them a just because budget because, with a couple $100, let's say per month, my team can go and surprise and delight clients, fellow employees, colleagues, anyone in our circles that they just notice are doing good things. They notice are celebrating a win. You know, Something as simple as one of our clients just passed their 500,000th podcast episode or podcast download, excuse me, podcast download. So, like, we can send them a cute little card or a book or a Starbucks gift card or something just to be like, hey, congrats on your 500,000th, download. And it sounds kind of silly, but it goes beyond just the holidays, the anniversaries, the birthdays. And it goes into, well, just because, or even just because somebody just wants to say thanks. Like, we want to say thank you for just being a good client. And every month we have one of those budgets and you use it or lose it. And the team members who have those budgets really take the time to think about what makes the most sense and how do we divvy this up properly? How do I want to use this to reward certain people? And I ask the person to tell me what they're using it for and why. Because I want to know so I can recognize these people more publicly, but I also do want to, you know, kind of just do it unexpectedly because I do think it goes a long way. So there are some of the kind of, I'll say non-traditional, but some of the more creative benefits and elements of our job positions that we offer. Side note, I don't know if we're I actually don't know if we're hiring right now because we've had so much growth recently that if we are in fact hiring, you can go to our website and we do have a careers page. You can find out how to work with us. Now, if you're not in the market to work at a company like this, but you do want to work with us in the capacity of a fractional CFO client, you can also head to our website and learn about working with us as your CFO, knowing that we have this amazing team that all fosters these types of values. But, these types of benefits are really fun because you can really infuse a lot of yourself into them, a lot of your own values, and you can really make them your own in a way that helps attract the right people. Because, for example, with the book club, if that's a benefit and that's something we do, and I talk about that in interviews, you're going to surprise and delight. You're going to make people happy who already have those values. So if somebody is really excited about that as a benefit, I'm like, well, then they're my people. This is who I want in the position. So I hope you find that helpful, just hearing about a few more of these different ideas. And I would love to know, do you have any creative benefits that you offer your employees? Do you have anything that would help our other listeners and provide other examples? If so, shoot me a DM. I'm at Shannon K. Weinstein. I'll respond to all my DMs. I want to hear from you on what are you doing that's a little bit non-traditional? And I would love to feature and add this to my list and share it when this episode airs. All right. We'll see you on the next episode.
One of the things that holds people back from starting their business and going all in on it to grow it is this hesitation around setting it up properly or cleaning things up to make sure everything is legally and compliantly sound. Between setting up the actual business legally and knowing how to manage the money, there's a lot that can intimidate somebody and scare them into not starting. And that's why I bundled up my 5 best resources all together for brand new business owners or for anyone who's looking to clean things up. This is my 5-day mindset refresh because it always starts with mindset. And my business financial quick starter, which is my starter course for anyone looking to start a business with all the key elements you need to do in order. My tax deduction guide with hundreds of deductions you can take for your business today. My Money Pro matchmaker on how to find the right professional for you. And my cash flow forecasting mini course. This is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. It includes tools and templates, everything you need to get started on your business successfully or clean things up if you feel like you've fallen behind. Grab your copy right now. The Small Business Starter Kit is yours for free using the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on your podcast platform. This small action goes a long way for podcasters to get our message heard by more business owners just like you. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to information about our guests and ways to get in touch with me. We'll see you on the next episode.